Hey, Tony Gasson here, popping in with another episode of Talks with Tony. Now, this one don't have a title, it just say, please help Tony. Hi, Tony. I would like to begin by thanking you for everything you have done for me through your videos. Although I wish I had found you sooner, I started watching your videos shortly after my child's father and I split up in 2019. I play your videos first thing in the morning on my way to work and school, when I am doing things around the house, and even at night prior to going to bed. With that being said, I am sure you can imagine I have watched all of your videos. I will provide a little background of my story with the hopes that you can give your advice. I am a local travel nurse, and I am in school studying aesthetics with an anticipated graduation date of July. Once I am a licensed esthetician, I plan to open a med spa by the end of this year. My child's father is in the military and has been for a little over 12 years. I grew up in a strict military home, with my father being high-ranking and my mother was a stay-at-home mom prior to their divorce. Once divorced, my mother never remarried and didn't date. Still to this day, my mother is single. With that being said, I was raised by a strong black woman who put her children first and never had random men around us. My son's father was also raised in a broken home, initially by his mother, who had men in and out of the home and multiple children by multiple different men. Eventually, she signed over her rights, and he was then raised by his father, who was also in the military. This happened when he was about 10 years old. He now has no relationship with his mother and only speaks to his father, who has been married more than 4 times and is also retired military. Y'all sure ain't making that military look good. I met my now ex in 2018. I am ashamed to say that I met him online, but I did. I had no idea of the dangers that come with online dating, but with me being a homebody that was so focused on school, I figured I'd give it a try. I have never had an issue with men trying to talk to me. I am constantly approached, so to be honest, I don't know what I was thinking. I am 28 years old, and my child's father is 32, going on 33 in a few weeks. When I met him, everything was perfect, or so I thought. We were what I would consider long distance because although we both live in Georgia, he lived 2.5 hours away from me at the time. At the beginning, he would come to me weekly for dates. Our relationship began approximately 2 to 3 months after initially meeting. Once it became official, I started traveling mostly to him to stay weekends with him, since I was living with my mother to save money while in school. I don't know if this detail is important or not, but I'll share. Prior to our meeting, we spoke on the phone for hours. He talked the entire time. He told me all about all of the traumatic events he went through as a child, including very personal things that I would never share with anyone. I tend to attract men and people in general who pour their hearts out to me, and I am a very private person. Need to take the life coach certification, TonyGassonAcademy.com. Even my best friend says she barely knows me. Anyways, on our very first date, he was so shy, and after dinner, we went on a walk around a shopping plaza nearby. While sitting on a bench, he put his head on my shoulder like a child, and I thought it was so strange. I later called my best friend and told her that he was weird, and she told me that I was too picky and to give him a chance, which I now regret. Let me see. My mind keep going other places. I'm sitting here reading, and that's why I was telling my son I would listen to my Bible earlier today, and he was like, "Dad, you know it'd be better if you read it." And I said, "No, son, when I read, my mind be going everywhere." Let me see, I missed something. Even my best friend says she barely knows me. Anyways, on our very first date, he was so shy, and after dinner, we went on a walk around a shopping plaza nearby. While sitting on a bench, he put his head on my shoulder like a child, and I thought it was so strange. I later called my best friend and told her that he was weird, and she told me that I was too picky and to give him a chance, which I now regret. I have a tendency to have no tolerance, and I am quick to cut men off when I feel something is off. Sound like my wife. Once committed, There were no major red flags that I noticed other than a few instances that I now wish I had taken more seriously. We would be on the phone for 4+ hours when not together and text all day. He would call me to let me know about his whereabouts constantly, to the point where I thought it was a little weird. When I was in town, we were always in public holding hands, and he wasn't shy to show me off to everyone. He would share things with me that I didn't want to know, including details about his ex-girlfriends. I forgot to mention, he has been married once before and has a 12-year-old son by his ex-wife. His ex-wife also lives in another state. Maybe 6 months or so into our meeting, we took a road trip to take his son home, and that's when I was introduced to his ex-wife. Everything seemed great, and we had plans on getting married. At about month 9, he was given notice that he was going to be stationed 10 hours away, and he decided that he wanted us to get married and for me to go with him, so we started looking at places. A few months later, when I would ask about solid plans, he would brush it off and say I was stressing him out, which I now know was a red flag and that he had changed his mind. I didn't think much of it, but I should have known that he no longer had plans on taking me along with him. He was always very respectful. We had maybe 2 disagreements, the duration of our relationship, but everything seemed fine. At month 12, I found out I was pregnant. Once I told him, everything changed. I won't go into details as it is still very traumatic for me, but he basically said that he no longer wanted to be with me. I later found out he was cheating on me the entire time with an array of women, and one woman appeared to be transgender. I went through my pregnancy alone, scared and very depressed. I blocked him and eventually ended up changing my number so that I could try my best to heal. He reached out to me through social media. I blocked him again, and then he emailed me. I did not respond to his messages until shortly before going into labor. He apologized and said he understands why I hated him. He alluded to me giving him another chance. I told him I would stand in front of a bus on a busy highway before giving him another chance. My mother always told me, if it didn't work the first time, it won't work the second time. That always stuck with me. He didn't attend the birth, which I didn't expect him to. Then again, I didn't welcome him. I preferred to have my mother there. Fast forward to now, he has seen our son twice since he has been born. He is now 1. He didn't attend his first birthday, nor did he send a gift. I didn't put him on child support because I fear that he will try to hurt me by requesting a custody agreement. I have said some very hurtful things to him because I am naturally a very direct person, and I was and still am very hurt. We have an agreement in writing that he contributes monthly $500, and he does just that and nothing else, which is fine. My problem is that he constantly tries to make me seem like I am this bitter woman who is keeping him from his son. It's the complete opposite. I answer whenever he calls. The 2 times that he has decided to come to town, I drop everything I have planned to accommodate him. I have even offered to travel to where he lives and let him know that I can get a hotel and work there so that he can spend time with our son. He calls a few times a month, texts every blue moon, and it's just so hurtful that after everything he has taken me through, he has the nerve to act like I am making things difficult for him. I realize that everything I am going through is my fault, although I feel that I was duped into thinking he was someone he wasn't. I shouldn't have been so trusting, and I shouldn't have slept with him to begin with. I am so ashamed and embarrassed that I am a single mother because I never wanted this. I always dreamed that I would be a wife raising my baby in a 2-parent household. I am trying to heal and be better. I am focused on achieving my goals to provide for my baby. I just don't know how to heal when I still have to deal with him. If I didn't have a child with him, I would block him. I regret the day that I met him, but I am so happy that I have been blessed with my baby. He is the best thing to ever happen to me. I am dealing with such mixed emotions, and it's overwhelming at times. I just want to do the best for my baby and be the best. I have been celibate since the split, and I plan on remaining celibate until marriage. I guess I don't really have a question. I am just seeking your advice on how to go through this mental and emotional battle. I have included pictures for your reference. I don't know if the pictures help, but I figured I would include them anyway. I also included screenshots of our most recent text message conversation. I may seem like I am mean, but I have to be this way with him. When I am nice, he tries to walk all over me. I hope this email gets to you and you can help me with my situation. Okay, I see him. So he one of those guys. So he work out, so he fit. Got that skull cap on, so not sure what that's about unless he got receding hairline or he got a little acne on his forehead. Typically, only time we really wear hats is when we got a receding hairline, hairline thinning like mine, or we got acne on our forehead. Every now and then we'll wear it just to wear it. He in the gym, he working out, but he ain't that big. So it let me know this something he developing over time. Got that earring in, tattoo on his neck. Yeah. So a little loss. Tattoo on the neck, a lot of guys get that. It's kind of like a lost phase, kind of, want to be thug phase. A lot of guys get that, but it's always some guy going through. And that earring, and he got the big old fake diamond, so that's he dealing with his own situations, and like you say, he told you a whole lot now. Now you in this picture with your son, and you fit in this whole picture real. You look like about 4 feet. The picture could be deceiving. Now y'all are looks compatible, because you look kind of similar, and typically when you look similar, your looks compatible. And you got the man in your phone is BD, so I'm guessing that's baby daddy. Unless his initials is BD. Can I at least call my son to tell him happy birthday tomorrow? Do whatever you want. Not home, picking up the cake and balloons. I'll be in meetings, but I'll call back later. That's from him. Are you off? Then question mark. Then thumbs up. The thumbs is to let you know. And then he said, how am I supposed to know when he's asleep? I called around the times you told me you're free. I give up. And then you said, okay, drama queen, it's clear you don't listen because I work every weekend. On our son's first birthday that you didn't attend nor send him a gift, you called once in the morning while I was out getting prepared for his celebration, and then once at night when he went to sleep. Complained once you tried to reach me more than 3 times. And then he said, 1, I work the second shift at work. 2, you sent me the list of everything that needs to be bought, and you said everything was already bought. 3, I was just going to buy stuff when I came to visit. On this, the thumbs up is to let you know I realize you don't ever plan to pick up the phone so I can see my child. Then you say, save your theatrics and try calling when he's actually awake and not when you feel like it. Okay, that's when how am I supposed to know when he's asleep? I called around the time you told me to give up, and that's when you say, okay, drama queen. And so, yeah, I can say you do sound bitter. You do sound mad that he duped you. And you do need a little better communication with him. And I would not, be calling him names like drama queen. Because to call a man a queen is kind of like a man calling you the SLU word or the HO word. Because when you call a man, a heterosexual man, a queen, that's very, very disrespectful. And you never know where a man is at. When you look at the news, it's a lot of women losing their life at the hands of a man. So you never know where a man at, and you don't want to be that woman that push him over the edge. You don't want to be that woman that, provoke and antagonize. You want to be, conflict free. Let him cause all the conflict. Now, based on the little that you showed me, he don't sound like he's terrible, because most men curse kind of regular. And if they reaching out about their child, a lot of men with a tattoo on their neck and an earring in their ear and a bunch of tattoos down their arm, with as much trauma as you say he has gone through, a lot of men will drop a cuss word in there. Even just the D word. Can I speak to my D child? What the F is going on? Like, a lot of men would drop a cuss word in there. He sound like he is writing to screenshot to show his therapist that he being. So I think you need to, kind of be a little bit more accommodating and realize that you just as guilty as he is, because again, the lesson that we learning in a lot of these videos is sex before marriage is a setup, and it's just how it happens. So, when we do things out of order, we cannot be so shocked when they blow up. We can't be super shocked about that. And he's not trying a lot, like you say, tried to see 2 times. But the thing about it is, if you sharp like that, if you disrespectful like that, if you name calling, it's like when he coming to you, he getting his scrotum snipped. And so that's not a good feeling. And a man don't like being in that place, especially without us lashing out and wanting to get physical, wanting to get verbally. And so with him trying to keep it chill without curse words and things of that nature, if he trying at all to be there for his son, you probably should be a little more accommodating, because at the end of the day, you're not hurting him, you're going to end up hurting your son. And so as your son gets older, he won right now, it don't matter that much, but as your son get older, if you're not more accommodating and more communicative, and y'all really working on a schedule and trying to get things together, then it's not gonna play out well for you and your son. Because then when your son get old enough, he may hold some resentment, and the screenshots go both ways. So when your son, get older, if you still talking to his dad like this, and you making it difficult, for his dad to see him, and he live a ways away and all of this right here, it might not go over too well. And so you gotta kind of, it'd be different if he was like threatening to put hands on you, if he was cussing you out, calling you out your name, doing all kind of reckless stuff. But it sound like, you sounding a little spoiled and a little, temper tantrumy. Like, why isn't this going my way? And so, just based on what you showed me, now I imagine there's a lot more conversations and a lot more that could play into that. And y'all met online. He don't sound like the worst in the world for online. He's not like a horror story. Y'all just, now hold on now. Now, one thing you said in there about Emma, that he was cheating and stuff, which is expected when you long distance, and he lived 2.5 hours away, and then he was about to get stationed 10 hours away, and y'all met online. So when you're online, he gonna constantly be meeting people. So it's some red flags or things that was gonna happen anyways that you did not see. So what I would say is, if I were you, I would be a little more accommodating. I would be a little more open. I would be a little more patient, be a little more respectful. Take your time, speak to him with a little more respect, and try to do a little more for him to see his son on your end, understanding that, like he say, he worked the second shift, all these different factors. Think about your son, not about your feelings, not about your schedule, not about just what's convenient for you. And when you're in this type of situation, sometimes the meetup or the connection or the phone call may be inconvenient for you. Now, waking the baby up at 1 years old, that's a little different, but even if he called, and this is the thing, you don't care about his feelings, but I would say to be, amicable, what I would recommend is like if he called, hey, hello, hey, he's asleep, but what I'll do is if you're all right with it, I'll put the phone to his ear and you could sing happy birthday and it may wake him up. If it wake him up, then, he could do his little baby talk with you and I'm pretty sure he'll go right back to sleep. And if that's how he sleep. Now, if your child don't sleep like that and your child gonna be up screaming and hollering, then okay. But even just for the sake of the dad, you could take and tell him that you're gonna do that, and the baby ear right here, you can have the phone over here, have the volume turned all the way down. You over here could hear the daddy, and at least he get his little release, he get his little feeling. When he stops singing, could bring the phone in and let the baby breathing be going into the phone. And that just, it take a little extra effort. It take being thoughtful. It take being considerate. This the man you chose. This the man you slept with. This the man you got pregnant from. As we always talk about, personal responsibility. Now, everybody gonna say, well, Tony, what about his personal responsibility? We're not talking to him. He's not asking for advice. He didn't write in. So that's what we have to understand. This advice gonna be one-sided because I'm talking to the person who wrote in. And the lesson with anything in any position in life is always fix you. Always do what you could do. Always be your best. Always control what you can control, and all you can control is you. You can't control somebody else. And that's what we have to understand. So, hey, this is Tony Gaskins. Thank you so much. God bless you. We'll be in touch with another video soon. My son out there walking around.